Find a way out, Leon. Before it's too late. Then we'll talk. Name's Ada.
Ada, wait! While films, novels, and every other art form huddled beneath the troposphere were re-released, repackaged, and otherwise regurgitated like week-old cud almost immediately after publication,
Yeah, if I control Rewind, I would want Fortnite and Marquez Brownlee.
for some bizarre butt-fucking reason, the Vidya has been reticent at best to do likewise. Granted, the PS4 was a port machine for the first 5 months of its existence, but the concept of the outright remake, the kind that took more than some upscaling and 15 seconds photoshopping the fuck out of the words Game of the Year on the upper third of the game box, perish the fucking thought. Yet for all the calamitous decisions of the Capcom Chronicles, one area where they stand utterly apart as indefatigable pioneers is the concept of the remake. Or in this case, the legendary 2003 remake 5 fucking people played on the goddamn GameCube. Re-released a half dozen times since, the erstwhile cratering at commercial retail has since given way to the inescapable actuality that Capcom were merely ahead of their time. The remake was no mere Mario All-Stars style port with arbitrarily amped up graphics or filtered fucking jaggies, but a top to bottom Botox job that reinvents and reinterprets the totality of the game from vertex to vajayjay. Bitch and bellyache all you like, as the media matures and the gamers get younger by the microsecond. Remakes are the fucking future.
It's the future!
And if the sales data is any indication, Capcom may have finally fucking realized that fact. Resident Evil 2 Melt Your Goddamn Graphics Card Edition, thusly, is positioned at the vanguard of what should be an initially exhilarating and ultimately unctuous fresh fucking wave of endless remake-exploitation we'll watch crest from 5 Alarm fuck yeah to Guitar Hero Rock Band bargain bin bullshit over the coming goddamn decade. Fortunately for us, we're presently positioned at the fuck yeah portion of the festivities, so break out the Cosby Coladas and go full fucking ham on this horse shit.
Marvin. We need to get you to a hospital right now.
RE2, like its predecessor, is absolutely everything a remake should be. A refinement and revivification of the Resident Evil magic, lousy with the omnipresent atmosphere we've been starved for, even in the excellent Resident Evil Revelations, and RE7 cum Biohazard cum why am I playing this shit instead of fucking Amnesia Hazard, and one that rightly regards its history as equally important to its present. Now first the fuck off, before you do anything, before you push play, before you switch on the subtitles, before you brandish your privates, defrost the baby oil, and prime the spring-loaded tissue dispenser, amble on over to the audio settings, switch on the classic RE2 soundtrack setting, and finish in your fucking pants at the piano-laden ambiance. From tank controls to robo-animations to Claire's Richard Simmons shorts, not every element of the original RE2 is aged with grace. But the soundtrack ain't got the beginnings of fucking crow's feet. Lights out, lights on, in a house with a mouse, this soundtrack does the goddamn business every bit as hard as it did in '98, and by God, given the wub-step alternative, for anyone with a frontal lobe, it's the official fucking remake soundtrack as well. Fact! And speaking of age, should we wrap up at the prepubescent protagonist redesign for a beat? I get that we're traveling back to a time when Capcom had a clue, but did we really have to Benjamin Button this bitch back to the age of a fucking fetus? Far be it from me to mock someone's pallor, I get sunburned from a smartphone, but I can't imagine this twink keeping the store safe in Mayberry, let alone subduing a shambling horde of future Democrat voters. Consequently, Leon careens from shooting to shooting, stumble fucking his way through flakes of blood and brain matter, only to part his soy-suffused maw and deliver his lines with all the allure of a crusty burger cashier.
Hey! I'm not done talking to you!
If I had a girlfriend, she'd kill me.
Never mind zombie plagues, where's the vaccine for the low-T virus? I've seen more masculine MSNBC anchors. Are you decapitating the dead or asking them out to a homecoming dance? Who knew if I wanted to play as someone who's tasted pussy instead of being one, I'd have to pick Claire? Gunplay is pristine, though thanks to a transparent attempt to artificially lengthen one of the most Shapiro short gaming experiences in the history of the art form, even on the easiest setting, your bullets have the unbridled impact of a paper football, which wouldn't matter quite so much if Magnum bullets weren't harder to find than Movie Bob's genitals. The reworked puzzles are enthralling enough without lapsing into nipple-twisting, depression-inducing difficulty, while the plot pitches more curves than Zach Greinke, and all of that is to its everlasting credit. And then there's Mr. X.
X-rated girls already bookmarked. Dial X for sex. Mr. X. Shall I cross the final frontier?
Boy, it's a good goddamn thing, my prediction, that relegating Mr. X to the A storyline rather than the B plot he was originally fucking featured in would detract in every appreciable way from the game you're originally fucking remaking here turned out to be profoundly fucking wrong, am I right? What are we up to now? 17 septillion variants of the same dogshit DMX meme? Why not just rename the fucking thing Mr. X co-starring a cuck in a cop outfit exactly? Let me remind you limberdick dipshits that every time he hey Kool-Aid through a fucking wall, every time you're yanked from the undead decapitating festivities by the booming intonations of his size 20 fuck me pumps 3 floors a fucking way, you're not only being needlessly distracted from the original atmosphere and plot, you're basically being chased by an Easter egg in a fucking fedora.
But Razor, he literally disappears after the police station part, and he isn't even around for most of it.
Sure, Defense Force fucknob, if by not present for most of it, you mean appears before you've even unlocked the 3rd floor of the fucking place, and by disappears, you mean literally replaces the final boss, requiring a Law's rocket reach around to dispatch in the first fucking playthrough.
Oops.
Look, he ain't unmanageable. He mostly shuffle fucks around in his Pelosi party mask and occasionally fires an errant haymaker at your hapless ass. Give him a 44 mag facial a few times and he's on his knees quicker than Sarah Silverman in a sitcom casting. But he does detract from what this game is originally intended to be. And bitches, ain't that kind of the fucking point of remaking Resident Evil 2 to begin with? Resident Evil 3 sucks 17 dicks through a silly straw. Why would I want Nemesis in a fucking fedora? Like, if you're so autistically ass-bent to add shit to an already perfect formula, maybe start by adding some actual horror to Resident Evil 4 through fucking 5. But don't confuse my arguing the efficacy of the aforementioned complaint with a failure to simultaneously concede its outright brilliance. Resident Evil 2 is so nipple-twistingly, fun-bag-fondlingly fucking good, it outweighs its acknowledged faults in every fucking regard. The facelift may have done a corkscrew moonsault over the Mr. X shark, but in every other solitary respect, it remains exceptional. Resident Evil 2 remains responsive, engaging, addictive in extremis, and far and away the most hauntingly tense living hell Capcom's constructed in well over a decade. The aforementioned flasher-looking fuck may be a massive distraction, but conceive how sensational the remake must be that he never eclipses the distilled kick-ass at the core of the original. Should you get it? You're goddamn right. Just save your bullets, upgrade your goddamn guns, and always, always look both ways for falling fedora tippers. I'm Razor Fist. God fucking speed.